What's our next move? If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure. Right behind you. Not much of a farm. How did they expect to grow anything in this actual store?
So, why'd you join the Stormcloaks?
I don't want some snotty elf.
Good. We're finally here. I've scouted the ruins and I'm certain Carlia is still in... No, I found her horse. Don't worry, let's get moving. I want to catch her inside while she's distracted. Just make certain. The last thing I need is you blundering into a trap and warning her that we're here. Keep your eyes open, your mouth shut. This better be important. Yes, what is... I have a we both agree it's best to... She was but she was all... Gallus trusted her too, if you want to... Gallus would call her his greed. One thing's certain, I intend to find out before she draws her last breath. Have your weapons at the ready. I'm certain Carlia knows we're here. They say that these ancient Nordic burial mounds are sometimes impenetrable. This one doesn't look too difficult. Quite simple, really. I don't know what the fuss is about these locks. All it takes is a bit of know-how and a lot of skill. That should do it. You're quite noisy for someone who claims to be a thief. Stench in here. Smells of death. Be on your guard. Fight was an execution. Pull the chain over there and watch out for the spikes. It's like I reset all of the traps. time. Draugr must have been child's play. worth my... Ah, it's one of the infamous Nordic puzzle doors. How quaint. Without the matching claw, they're normally impossible to open. Since I'm certain Carlia already did away with it, we're on our own. Fortunately, these doors have a weakness if you know how to exploit it. Quite simple, really. Carlia's close, I'm certain. Now let's get moving. Do you honestly think your arrow will reach me before my blade finds your heart?
Give me a reason to try.
You're a clever girl, Carlia. Buying Golden Glow Estate and funding Honningbrew Meadery was inspired.
To ensure an enemy's defeat, you must first undermine his allies. It was the first lesson Gallus taught us.
You always were a quick study.
Not quick enough. Otherwise Gallus would still be alive.
Gallus had his wealth and he had you. All he had to do was look the other way.
Did you forget the oath we took as Nightingales? Did you expect him to simply ignore your methods?
Enough of this mindless banter. Come, Carlia. It's time for you and Gallus to become reunited.
I'm no fool, Mercer. Crossing blades with you would be a death sentence, but I can promise the next time we meet, it will be your undoing.
How interesting. It appears Gallus's history has repeated itself. Carlia has provided me the means to be rid of you, and this ancient tomb becomes your final resting place. But do you know what intrigues me the most? The fact that this was all possible because of you. Farewell. I'll be certain to give Brynjolf your regards.
Easy. Easy. Don't get up so quick. How are you feeling? No, I saved your life. My arrow was tipped with a unique paralytic point. Had I intended to kill you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. My original intention was to use that arrow on Mercer, but I... Who's there? How are you feeling? No, had I intended to kill. I made a split-second decision to get you out of the way, and it prevented your death. I promise you, the thought crossed my mind. The poison on that arrow took me a year to perfect. I only had enough for a single shot. All I had hoped was to capture Mercer alive. Mercer must be brought before the guild to answer for what he's done. He needs to pay for Gallus's murder. My purpose in using Snowvale Sanctum to ambush Mercer wasn't simply for... Before both of you arrived, I recovered a journal from Gallus's remains. I suspect the information... I wish I knew. The journal is written in some sort of language... Enther. Gallus's... It's the only outsider Gallus trusted with the knowledge of his Nightingale identity. There were 3 of us. Myself, Gallus, and Mercer. We were an anonymous splinter of the Thieves' Guild in Riften. Perhaps I'll tell you more about it later. Right now, you need to head for Winterhold with the journal and get the translation. Here, take these as well. They may prove useful for your journey. Speak only... Enther.
Aster had to move away because of the Empire.
Turns out who runs Winterhold doesn't change much.
I never knew
Say
that
I'm
darkness
surprised.
held so... Now here's a man I'm glad to see. My brother in darkness? Well, it's good to see you. We'll keep up appearances. Very little money passes through winter anymore. But if there's one thing you can count on, it's folks needing a drink now and then.
Yes, Carlia. Then she's finally found it. Do you have Gallus's journal? A problem. No, this is just like Gallus. He's written all of the text in the Falmer language. No, the court wizard of Markarth. Word of warning. Calselmo is a fierce guardian of his research.
I think
Getting the
Birna might disagree
information
with
won't
you.
be easy.
Yeah, watch it.
Calselmo is stubborn as a mule. Be careful when you
You're
speak
the
to
one that told me to stay out of it.
What are you doing that for? The mages don't let us go in the column. They...
Then you were well informed. I am at this very moment on the cusp of completing my magnum opus on the subject. I'm calling it Calselmo's Guide to the Falmer Tongue. It will revolutionize the way we understand the preposterous. That research represents years of personal toil in some of the... You must be mad to think I'd allow anyone to see it before... Very well. Perhaps when my research is complete, I'll feel more comfortable discussing my findings with you.
Don't bother with Tacitus. Useless. All right.
Back up!
I need some help
here. You can't.
Citizen.
Aster had to move away because of the Empire, but we get to stay.
Was there something else? I suppose it would be inappropriate of me to... A rubbing, eh? I understand. Now, let me take a good look at this. Over here, please.
So this is the fabled College of Winterhold. Amazing.
This is intriguing, but highly disturbing. It appears that Gallus had suspicions about Mercer Frey's allegiance to the Guild for months. Gallus had begun to uncover what he calls An unduly lavish lifestyle replete with spending vast amounts of gold on personal pleasures.
Does the journal say where this wealth came from?
Yes, Gallus seems certain that Mercer had been removing funds from the guild's treasury without anyone's knowledge.
Anything else, Enthir? Anything about the Nightingales?
Yes, here it is. The last few pages seem to describe the failure of the Nightingales, although it doesn't go into great detail. Gallus also repeatedly mentions his strong belief that Mercer desecrated something known as the Twilight Sepulchre.
Shadows preserve us. So it's true.
I'm not familiar with the Twilight Sepulchre. What is it? What's Mercer Frey done?
I'm sorry, Enthir. I can't say. All that matters is we deliver your translation to the guild immediately. Farewell, Enthir. Words can't express.
It's all right, Carlia. You don't have to say a word. Listen, all I want is the truth to be revealed to the guild. They respect. Do whatever you can, and I'd consider it a personal favor. If trying to... I've been known to handle items of questionable interest from time to time, and I'll see what I can do. If you have further
We must hasten
need
to
of me,
Riften
you
before
find
Mercer
me
can
in
do
the
any more
college.
damage to the guild. You've come this far, so I've seen... The Twilight Sepulchre is the temple to Nocturnal. It's what the Nightingales are sworn to protect with their lives. Everything that represents Nocturnal's influence is contained within the walls of the Sepulchre. Now it seems Mercer's broken his oath with Nocturnal and defiled the very thing he swore to protect. I felt the same way when Gallus first revealed these things to me. I think given time you'll understand what I mean. As a Nightingale, I've been sworn to secrecy regarding the Sepulchre. I know the guild doesn't do much to foster faith, but I'm going to have to ask that you continue to trust me. I'll make for Riften and scout the situation, see if I can discover what Mercer's up to. When you're ready. In the meantime, I wanted you to have this. It belonged to Gallus, but given the circumstance, if the guild isn't willing to listen to reason, you might have to.
Aster had to move away because of the Empire, but we get to stay.
My brother in darkness? Well, it's good to see you. We'll keep up appearances. Yes?
What's our next move?
You want to talk to me after everything you've done?
I'm glad you're here. I think some of these people are Are you ready to face the guild? Then we show them Gallus's journal and hope for the best. Remember, we have proof and all he's got is his word. Keep your eyes open.
So,
I'm not sure what to expect when we enter the system.
Glover Mallory told me a good deal about the place. It looks exactly as I pictured.
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
So, you're Brynjolf's new protege, eh? Don't look like much to me.
Better have a damn good reason to be here with that murderer.
Please, lower your weapons so we can speak. I have proof that you've all been misled.
No tricks, Carlia, or I'll cut you down where you stand. Now what's this so-called proof you speak of?
I have Gallus's journal. I think you'll find its contents disturbing.
Let me see. No, it can't be. This can't be true. I've known Mercer too long.
It's true, Brynjolf. Every word. Mercer's been stealing from the guild for years, right under your noses.
There's only one way to find out if what the lass says is true. Delvin, I'll need you to open the vault.
Wait just a blessed moment, Bryn. What's in that book? What did it say?
It says Mercer's been stealing from a vault for years. Gallus was looking into it before he was murdered.
How can Mercer open up a vault that needs 2 keys? It's impossible. Can he pick his way in?
That door has the best puzzle locks money can buy. There's no way it can be picked open.
You didn't need to pick it up.
What's she on about?
Use your key on the vault, Delvin. We'll open it up and find out the truth.
I've used my key, but the vault's still locked up tighter than a drum. Now use yours.
Good to see you again, friend.
98. It's gone. Everything's gone. Get in here, all of you.
The gold. It's yours. It's all gone.
That son of a bitch. I'll kill him.
Vex, put it away, right now. We can't afford to lose our heads. We need to calm down and focus.
Do what he says, Vex. This ain't helping right now.
Glover Mallory told me a good deal about the place.
For now.
It looks exactly as I pictured.
Vex, watch the flagon. If you see Mercer, come tell me right away. Look, before I help you track Mercer down, I need to know what you learned from Carlia. I mean, everything. What? Nightingales? Was there anything else she told you? Trying to make Mercer look bad in front of Maven, eh? Was there anything else? I feared that was the case. Anything else? Then I have an important... I need you to break into Mercer's home and search for anything that could tell us where he's gone. Aye. A gift from the Blackbriars after they kicked the previous family out. He never stays there, just pays for the upkeep on it. Hired some lout by the name of Vold to guard the place. Be careful. Just find a way in, get the information and leave. And you have permission to kill anyone that stands in your way.
This is Mercer Frey's place, and he don't like... No visitors. No way. Now piss off before you make me mad. You ain't got enough coin to make my problems go away. You try and set one foot in this yard, and I'll cut it off. Oh, come on. I ain't that dumb. You ain't got enough... You try and set one foot in this...
That's funny. You think you can take me on? Try it any...
I should have come here.
Hey! Watch it! So, this... Is someone there?
Come on, I won't fight.
We've scoured the town. Shore's beard. He's going after the eyes of the Falmer? That was Gallus. If he gets his hands on them, you can be certain he'll be gone for good and set up for life. Agreed. He's taken everything the guild has left, and to go after one of the last greatest heists. I've spoken to... Quickly, we have no time to lose. Until next we meet.
It looks exactly as I budgeted for you.
I promise you, all your questions will be answered.
Oh,
So,
you're back.
Brynjolf's new protege, eh?
Well, well, if you happen
Like
to...
much to
What
me.
a delightful find. This should cover it. Well, well. If you happen to... Must have come from Mercer's place. He'd admired the grey fox for some time. Sure, I'll buy it from you. Here you are. Well, well. If you happen to cry... It's worth quite a bit, actually. Quite a catch. There you go. The Dawn Star Sanctuary. Is that where you lot... What exactly are we talking about here?
Tell me you looked through the trash before you did that.
Take it easy, Feckle. How long we known each other? Yeah, I checked it. All the stuff is in the safe.
Aha. Now that's the Dark Brotherhood I know and love. This for business or pleasure? No, it wasn't that.
I need
Right.
Brynjolf, the time has come to decide Mercer's fate. Until a new guildmaster is chosen, the decision falls to you.
Aye, lass. And I've come to a decision. Mercer Frey tried to kill both of you. He betrayed the guild, murdered Gallus, and made us question our future. He needs to die.
We have to be very careful, Brynjolf. Mercer is a Nightingale, an agent of Nocturnal.
And it's all true. Everything I heard in the stories. The Nightingales, their allegiance to Nocturnal, and the Twilight Sepulchre.
Yes. That's why we need to prepare ourselves and meet Mercer on equal footing. Just outside of Riften, beyond the southeast gate, is a small path cut up the mountainside. At the end of that path is a clearing, and an old standing stone. I'd ask you both to meet me there.
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm glad you're here. This is the headquarters. We've come to seek the edge. If you'll follow me, I'll try to explain on the way.
So this is Nightingale Hall. I've heard about this place before, but I never believed it existed.
The assumption that the Nightingales were just ahead of the sea from the guild on purpose, without the reputation of too much.
I'm trying to understand. I'm no priest, and I'm certainly not religious. Why pick me?
If you'll both proceed to the armory to join the Nightingale, we can begin the act.
What's our next move? If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure. Right behind you. I'm glad that I'm finally traveling with someone who seems competent. My last patron was killed trying to tackle an entire fort of bandits alone.
You appear ready for the oath. Proceed down the hall to the gate when you're ready.
But becoming a Nightingale, that was never discussed.
To hold any hope of defeating Mercer, we must have Nocturnal at our backs. If she's to accept you as one of her own, an arrangement must be struck.
What sort of arrangement?
I'm glad that I'm finally
I need to know
traveling
the
with
terms.
someone who seems competent.
The terms are quite simple.
My last patron was
Nocturnal
killed
will
trying
allow
to
you to
tackle
become
an
a
entire fort
Nightingale
of bandits
and use your
alone.
abilities for whatever you wish. And in return, Both in life and in death, you must serve as a guardian of the Twilight Sepulchre.
Aye, there's always a catch. But at this point, I suppose there isn't much to lose. If it means the end of Mercer Frey, you can count me in.
What about you? Are you ready to try? Good. After I open the gate, please stand on the western circle. We'll speak when the oath is complete. We'll speak when the oath is complete. I call upon you, Lady Nocturnal, Queen of Murk, and Empress of Shadow. Hear my voice.
Ah, Carlia. I was wondering when I'd hear from you again. Lose something, did we?
My lady, I've come before you to throw myself upon your mercy and to accept responsibility for my failure.
You're already mine, Carlia. Your terms were struck long ago. What could you possibly offer me now?
I have two others that wish to transact the oath, to serve you both in life and in death.
You surprise me, Carlia. This offer is definitely weighted in my favor.
My appetite for Mercer's demise exceeds my craving for wealth, Your Grace.
Revenge. How interesting. Very well. The conditions are acceptable. You may proceed.
Lady Nocturnal, we accept your terms. We dedicate ourselves to you as both your avengers and your sentinels. We will honor our agreement in this life and the next until the conditions have been met.
Very well. I name your initiates Nightingale, and I restore your status to the same, Carlisle. And in the future, I'd suggest you refrain from disappointing me again.
Now that you've transacted the oath, it's time to reveal the final piece. Mercer was able to unlock the Guild's vault without two keys because of what by doing this, he's compromised our ties to Nocturnal, and in essence, caused our love to... Well, yes. But the key... All of us possess untapped ability. Once you realize the key can access these traits, potential becomes limitless. Although it would be... If the key isn't returned to its lock in the Twilight Sepulchre, things will never be... As time passed, our luck would... Very true. Before we depart, Brynjolf has some business to discuss. I suggest you listen to him.
Listen, lad. There's one last piece of business we need to settle before we go after... Carlia and I had a long... Thanks to your efforts, Mercer's treachery has been exposed. As a result, we both feel that you have the potential of replacing Mercer as leader of the thieves. I've been at this game a long time, my friend. A long time. I've stolen trick. I'm good at what I do. Maybe even one of the best. I've never been one to lead. Never desired it, never cared for it. Don't want it. Ha! Spoken like the leader of the... Just don't lose yourself in the role. We have a bit of an errand to run. Then it's just... Until then, we have... I've been part... Carlia and I will meet you there. Prepare yourself, lad. Aye. And some of what Carlia said is starting to be... Mercer may have... Old Delvin kept... Aye. And some of what Carlia said is starting to make sense. Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time. Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time.
With the skeleton key missing from the Twilight Sepulchre, I'm afraid Mercer's... You merely transacted the oath. Signed the unwritten contract. In order for us to receive our abilities, if nocturnal... I have no doubt that we still hold... Yes. You'll find that once the skeleton key has been restored to the Twilight Sepulchre, I'll make this place my home as well.
your head!
You picked a bad...
Mercer's been here. Brynjolf and I found them like that. We have to catch up to him before it's too... We should tread carefully. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do the
if
farmer
he
also
found
have
a few
smell?
for us.
This place reeks. Just as I was getting warmed up. Looks like we can take the low road or the high road across this chamber. Your choice.
What was that?
No contact.
Damn, just as I was getting warmed up.
Even the farmer don't deserve the pain his influence must have inflicted. Dwarves were a cruel
When you cross the guild.
There's water rushing through these pipes. We must be beneath the lake. Wait. And he hasn't seen us yet. Brynjolf, watch the door.
Aye, lass. Nothing's getting
get by me.
Climb down that ledge. See if you can...
Carlia, when will you learn you can't get the drop on me? When Brynjolf brought you before me, I could feel a sudden shift in the wind. And at that moment, I knew it would end with one of us at the end of a blade. What's Carlia been filling your head with? Tales of thieves with honor? Oaths ripe with falsehoods and broken promises? Nocturnal doesn't care about you, the key, or... Then the die is cast, and once again my blade will taste Nightingale blood.
Wait.
You can't hide from me.
What's happening? I can't stop myself.
Damn you! Fight it, Brynjolf! It's taken control of you!
I'm sorry,
This place is going down. Skeleton key in the eye, and let's get out of here.
No luck there, lass. Something must have fallen on the other side of the door because it isn't moving.
We have to find another way out of here before the place fills with water.
Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time. Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak
25 years. All that remains is to ensure the safe return of the skeleton key. I'm afraid it... When the skeleton key was stolen from the Twilight Sepulchre, the only way to bring it back will be through the... It wasn't created for the Nightingales. It was created to test those who wish to serve. As a consequence, I have no knowledge of what you'll be facing. Brynjolf is needed back at the Thieves Guild to keep order while... And I'm afraid you'll have to face the end of your journey alone. Take this with you. I'm not certain if it will help within the walls of the Sepulchre, but I certainly don't need... I've had this bow almost my entire life, and it's never let me down. Hope it brings you the same luck. Yes, fellow
What's our next move? If it'll help us get moving quicker, sure. Lead on!
Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time.
I don't recognize you. The last of the Nightingale Sentinels, I'm afraid. We were betrayed by one of our own kind. I was blind. Perhaps if I had been more vigilant, then Mercer Frey wouldn't have lured me to my fate and stolen the skeleton. I haven't heard that name in a long time. How do you know of me? The key! You and Mercer Frey? Then, I owe you a great deal, Nightingale. You've done the Guild a great deed, and although they may not show it, I'm certain my only regret is that you had to undertake this task alone. Carlyle, I feared she'd befallen the same fate, ending up a victim of Mercer's betrayal. Nothing would bring me more. From the moment I arrived here, when Mercer stole the key, that conduit closed. I'm afraid so. I'm weakening. And I can feel my... Whatever damage has been caused can only be corrected by following the Pilgrim's path to the Ebonmere and replacing the key. Whatever is affecting the Nightingale Sentinel, as I get closer to the Ebonmere, I begin to... Even right this moment, I feel strange, when I don't think I should be feeling anything at all. I still sense your presence, living fool.
What do we have here? It's been a number of years since I've set foot on your world. Or perhaps it's been moments. One tends to lose track. So, once again, the key has been stolen, and a champion returns it to the sepulchre. Now that the Ebonmere has been restored, you stand before me awaiting your accolades. A pat on your head, a kiss on your cheek. What you fail to realize is your actions were expected and represent nothing more than the fulfillment of your agreement. Don't mistake my tone for displeasure. After all, you've obediently performed your duties to the letter. But we both know this has little to do with honor and oaths and loyalty. It's about the reward, the prize. Fear not. You'll have your trinkets, your desire for power, your hunger for wealth. I bid you to drink deeply from the Ebonmere mortal, for this is where the agent of Nocturnal is born. The oath has been struck, the die has been cast, and your fate awaits you in the Everglow. Farewell, Nightingale. See to it that you stay this time, won't you?
I'm glad you were able to bring the key back safely. Nocturnal seemed... I wouldn't take that to heart. Think of her as a scolding mother continually pushing you harder to be successful, outwardly sounding angry. I assure you, had she been displeased with you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The crescent moon represents the agent of shadow. The half... This is not... If you ever... Be warned that once you've chosen, now, your life as a Nightingale begins. Should the need arise, the Guild has welcomed me back with open arms. I feel like a void in my life has I only hope that this isn't an ending to things. But why bad? There are we may be Nightingales, but in our hearts we're still thieves, and we're damn good at what we do. This agent of strife, at the same time, this tether will bolster the agent's own life force, making him the agent of stealth, is the master of remaining unseen. They are able to manipulate the darkness and on moonlit nights or in darkened rooms, this agent literally becomes the agent of subterfuge, utilizes shadow to cloud the judgment of the... By weaving the darkness to their will, this agent can manipulate others into fighting for the Nightingale for a limited time. This agent of strife can send forth a tendril of pure darkness into the heart of another. At the same time, this tether will bolster the agent's own life force, making him stronger. Choose your path, and your journey will be complete. I feared I would never see you again. I was afraid you'd become like the others.
If it were not for the actions of this Nightingale, your fears would have come true. He honors us all.
What will you do now, my love?
Nocturnal calls me to the Everglow. My contract has been fulfilled.
Will I ever see you again?
When your debt to Nocturnal has been paid, we'll embrace once again.
Farewell, Gallus. Eyes open. Walk with the shadows.
Goodbye, Carlisle.
Yes, Nightingale? Gallus's oath has been paid. Now his spirit becomes one with the Everglow, the realm of perpetual... No, not... This is the greatest honor a Nightingale can possibly achieve. Absolutely. It's believed. That's why the Ebonmere needed to be reopened. If this place is in danger ever, should the need arise, a portal connects the Sepulchre and Nightingale Hall. Use it whenever you wish. Farewell.